My name is Worknesh Abati Shire. I am an Ethiopian. I am 22 years old. I came to the UAE in April 2002 as a housemaid. Almost a year and a half ago I had an accident while I was boarding a public bus. The driver closed the door on me and I fell on the ground and he drove the bus over me. I was taken to Rashid Hospital by an ambulance and was in a coma for 3 days. My left arm and hand got seriously damaged. I was in hospital for treatment 1 month and 15 days. I cannot use or move my arm properly. When I was discharged from hospital, I didn't have anyone to help me with my case. A friend of mine told me that she heard from a friend that there was a shelter in Jumeirah where they help women like me who have problems. The shelter is run by an American Emirati woman, and there is an Ethiopian woman who works for her, whose name is Yeshi, and they gave me her contact number in order to call her. I called Yeshi and told her my problem on the phone. When I met her, I showed all my papers from the hospital and the police, and told her I was told to hire a lawyer, which I couldn't afford. Yeshi told me there was no need of a lawyer, and that Mrs. Sharola will help. She took me to the shelter and introduced me to Mrs. Sharola. Mrs. Sharola told me it was very easy to solve my problems. You don't have to worry, she said, and I will take good care of you, and I will help your family back home, since I was worried for my family more than myself, because they were all depending on me. After a few days, Yeshi left the country for a trip abroad, and Mrs. Sharola didn't do anything regarding my case, nor help my family as she promised. She never talked to me about my case. I hardly saw her. When I tried to speak to her, she used to tell me that she is very busy. But on many occasions she invited people in the shelter to come and see me and take my pictures. The only time she hugs and kisses me is when the visitors are around. Mrs. Sharola used to tell me that people who get my picture and interview me will help me, and you will soon go abroad for further and better treatment. She used to warn me before the visitors come not to talk to them about my situation, and used to tell them that I was only 15 years old and have no family here. Sometimes she would tell them that she hired a lawyer to handle my case. I used to understand everything she said, but I was too scared of saying anything. It has been 6 months since I moved to the shelter without getting any help except food and shelter, which I hardly eat. The whole time I was sick and I was never taken to hospital. Therefore I decided to leave the shelter and went to the Ethiopian consulate to get some help and advice. But the consulate didn't want to get involved with Sharola's shelter, City of Hope's cases. After I left the shelter, I called Mrs. Sharola and asked for all my documents back. She refused to give them to me. Therefore, I went to CID at Dubai Police HQ to report it. When the officer called her, she told him to tell me to come and get them. But when I went there, she threatened to take me to Dubai Police Station with 3 other women who left her shelter if we did not stay with her. Since then, I have tried to get my documents back from her through many ways, through police, immigration and CID. But at the end, she said she gave it to a lawyer and that he lost them. However, when I went to court and hospital, I obtained copies of my documents and submitted them to a lawyer.